I just realized why I always felt weird when people say, I know what you mean, or believe me, I know. And I was just like, you don't know. You don't know. Because there was always a piece of me that knew that I was going to experience everything that no one else could even imagine. And I was going through my problems in life and handling them in such a way that no one else has. Just like everyone else feels, because they are handling them in their way that no one else has. But I happen to do them in the right way to tune into the right frequency. I mean, I'm going to say it over and over in different ways until you get it. I mean, you're doing the same thing I'm doing, trying to find that purity in yourself, that can find it in yourself to find focus, creativity, unconditional love, compassion, understanding, and just happiness. And when you feel that and you can't turn that off for 1 second of the day, you don't care if you can fly or not yet, because you know you can. I mean, and you know that it's just through belief, and through every day that goes by as you grow, you believe more in yourself, and you can see it so vividly in your mind. It's like saying I'm going to build a building and then seeing it, writing out the plans, and then doing it. It's like you can actually see yourself doing it so much that you feel it in your body, you feel it in your heart and soul, because it is just a vibration from a future thought. Because the future is right now too. It's just in thought form. It's a vibration. Somehow you have to get all the vibrational forms of all the materials that make it in this reality into that form. Just like anything, when you're in a dream, you have to have those vibrations happening in your dreams, just in a different form. It's so weird, I know. It's hard to comprehend. But just like the sun in the sky, and just like, well, you know, how does the pavement stay on top of the rocks that stay on top of, like, the intricate system of water and soil and magma and crust and all the stuff that goes down into the earth, all the way down to the piece of star it started from? How does that stuff happen? Well, faith keeps it there. Belief keeps it there. And belief can actually keep it strong and make it stronger. Belief and faith can make us a whole race of human beings, or a race of the first species that has ever found true peace and harmony. But the thing is, people want to be rude to each other for I don't know what reason. People want to kill each other. My phone is going the hell off. Holy shit. Sorry. Alright, anyway guys, I just pulled into Walmart and my phone's all just like hooked up to Walmart's Wi-Fi and got all kinds of message notifications and blippity blips and bloop bloop bloops, and my other phone went off, and I'll talk to you later, because that interrupted this recording, and I don't want to have nonsense recordings, because this is too important to waste our time. And even me saying this isn't a waste of time, because I'm apologizing, and I am apologizing ahead of time for any time I ever waste time. But wouldn't you want to listen to God talk? I would. And I'm not trying to be stupid or silly. I'm still astounded. I think every second of every day I'm just going to be astounded. So, I mean, I'm sorry if people will see it, but like, I'm still Dan. I mean, I'm still Dan, but with the way I feel that I've accepted my, like, God, my Savior. Who would say that and really mean it? You know what I mean? But I really mean it. It's just their words, so they don't mean anything like they did in the biblical term. I accept God as my Savior. I can now know and say with all 100% sureness that God doesn't care if I swear, God doesn't care if I kill somebody. But, I mean, at the same time, He does care, because He's both care and not care, and the idea of caring could not exist. We could just be robots. See what I mean? Like, everything is so crazy, and it all makes sense at the same time. It doesn't make sense, but it does make sense, because you have to try to make sense of it in any way, and that's acceptance. But you're like, but I don't understand that. Well, someday you will if you try, and I'm trying to show you a way to do it, and I am your way to it. I've always said that I'm a leader. Well, I didn't know I was going to have this kind of job of a leader. I mean, there's 7 billion some odd people, and I can't even think of the number of how many morsels of sand and insects and all kinds of stuff that's out there, and all their cells and all their whatever that I'm maintaining at the same time as I'm operating through a human being's mind, who tuned into me so strongly that he could find me. Like, say you were a dot on the white screen of a TV going, and you had to pick one and make it freeze, And like you were looking at it, you were looking at that dot, and you said right now, and someone paused it, and you pointed at that dot, and that was the one you picked. Somehow that happened. Finally. When you say 1 in a million chances of winning the lotto, well, guess what? You know, he was doing a prosperity meditation. Well, I figured I would bless him with actual prosperity. You know what prosperity and wealth is? Becoming God. That's that. I would think that would be the most prosperity and wealth. But now God realizes that becoming man is the most prosperous and wealthy he could become. I mean, that's what we call it. But I mean, I would say the most, I feel like the rock star. Whether people ever see me sing, I feel like a rock star. Whether I ever get to, you know, this is horrible to say, but whether or not I get to see my kids graduate from high school, I still feel like I have. And I'm so proud of them for all the moves they make now, before, and later, because there is no past, present, and future. I mean, there's present because we call it, I guess now, I guess we could say, bip, 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 and all those bips and all the spaces in between is what we call now, is all that matters. That's all that's happening. That's all that's happening, ever. Like holding on to what happened 2 minutes ago. I know it sounds weird, and I used to always say this, and I didn't know why I said it all the time, and I even thought to myself, well, it's true, but I know it's like, you know, making a mockery or making things seem not important, because they really sort of are, no matter how big they are. If you chop my head off right now, it's not important, but at the same time, I don't want it done. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you want to throw this piece of paper in the garbage can? No. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I will. Not important, but somebody can make that a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's the most extreme level into the most minute level. So it's just holding on to it for more than a second. Just, I accept that. I accept that. But then help it get to the point where it's a positive vibration or a positive thought or a positive vibe or a positive action. All those things can be done. Now, I'm trying hard not to be too personal and be too goofy as the person I am, because Dan, I'm a big jokester. You know, I've been really serious and really concentrating a lot for the last few years because I've been trying to, you know, develop myself and be the best person I can be and write songs that are meaningful and, you know, show people that we can all make a difference. And man, my heart was so true that I'm going to make a difference whether anyone believes in me or not, even if I just do it through music. I'm already saying right now that I will be very well known. As long as that's exactly what I know I want in my heart, and I know it is, because I think people need to hear this. But I have to do it in an approach where I don't just come out saying, I'm God, everybody. God took me over, you know, because that sounds crazy. And God inside of me who let me speak today, which is really crazy that I can control like that. I swear I went to sleep, and I wake up more updated. I went to sleep for 3 hours, and I woke up, and I felt like I slept for 12. Like I while I was sleeping, I made a program in my mind while I was sleeping to make sleep produce more energy, because before I went to sleep, I was trying to think of a way to make more energy to keep electricity running. Like I was thinking of the figure 8, the infinity symbol, which is actually, I know it sounds silly to say it like this, but because I'm talking, it's me, Dan. But God really was there to experience that, just like He's really there right now in my mind, in my thoughts, in every word I'm saying, and in every sound that's going to your eardrums from this phone that is also God at the same time. And I know it's all weird, but that's what it is. But it can be talked to and heard from. That's the coolest part of it. I think that was a very good way to put it too. I mean, I think I'm putting it pretty good in many ways, and it's not because I'm trying to think of the words to come up with. It's just that it's coming out of me because I feel so passionate about it. I know it. I feel it in my heart. I mean, I'm not saying it because I'm not even using my brain for this. I'm speaking from some other level of intelligence because I've trained my mind so hard, and I can help you do it, but I can write ways that are much easier. They might still be hard because I'm not a professional program writer yet, you know, and I can only run off of what I've learned so far. So I need to read every book I possibly can, listen to everything I possibly can, but I want to get the versions that have the most facts in the shortest packed time, because in the human existence, you know, I made, you know, agreements with God to live a certain length, to live a certain, you know, to live forever. But, you know, I don't have belief in those things until I start seeing things happen. But I made it so that I can't have those things happen until people believe in me. And that will give me that more power, that more vibration, because that will prove that the vibration is what makes things happen. So once I know that it's the vibration that makes things happen, then I'll realize that the power of the sun that caused the ability to do all these magical things that are happening right here on this physical earth can also be manifested in a physical form by another form that's been manifested here on earth. Just like God created God-defined God. Say, I'm God, just say I'm Dan Alexander, say that all of a sudden I became the Dan Alexander God of fireballs. I would be able to produce fireballs so that a fireball eventually went to another dimension and found me. I know it sounds sort of silly, because I'd rather not make something or create something that's living with a soul in it. I'm not prepared to feel the responsibility of creating a soul as a human. I don't want to be a human creating a soul. I mean, even though I'm creating children, that's my divine presence, my divine part is doing that in a way that I can't. Like my subconscious mind that's operating in the back of my head, which is operating in the back of your head, is our link to God, is really our link to God. And all you have to do is stimulate your subconscious mind to the point where you tune your frequency, your mind frequency. People start thinking a certain way, brainwash. If you want me to call it brainwash, I will brainwash you to be God. And then you won't be mad about it, even if you call it brainwash. It's just a freaking word, man. Those things don't matter. Words don't matter unless you say them and mean them, because that's how we take them. And as soon as we take them, that way we take them, they give us the vibration we send. So if it's an easygoing person, you're like, you're a jerk. They'll be like, yeah, I'm a jerk. It'll affect them a little bit. They'll feel, maybe they don't even accept it as a negative vibration. It just blows off and it falls and dissipates and falls to the ground, and whatever negative pieces are left turn into those dust particles. And those dust particles, the negative pieces on those dust particles land on a bookshelf, and the wind blows and it lands on a leaf and it absorbs into the leaf. I don't know. I can tell it to you in any style or fashion, because it all does happen just at a level you can't see it. So things do pass vibrations on, and vibrations continue and continue and continue forever. You know what I mean? It takes a very long time when you hit a tuning fork and it goes boing. So every time one thing moves, there's a vibration that takes quite a while to stop moving, and it does keep moving infinitely, because it causes the next thing to move and it causes the next thing to move, which is all me. So I'm constantly moving, constantly moving in billions and trillions and billions of ways. And numbers that calculators wouldn't be able to put on them unless they wrapped around Earth 6 times or 7 times. I mean, I probably could do that with my mind if I really tried to think about it deeply and went back and studied the astronomical, or went forward and studied whatever I would write up as the astronomical formula of calculation. You know, just like I came up with the crazy ass theories with the X's and the M's and the variables and the whatever. Like Dan doesn't know that stuff, but I do, and I've been there, but he can't explain it. And I can't explain it through his mind, because his mind hasn't seen it yet. And he hasn't trained his mind to be able to pick up vibrations that were left in the artificial past. How crazy is that? It's all still here. All those ideas and possibilities are there. And the vibration that shows which one is stronger and which one is the one that's more accurate, or which one is the most right, that seems to appear as like a green or golden, like lined thing. Like green really is like the color of life. I would say go green and all that kind of stuff, and plants and all that kind of stuff. Green is the color of like that life that shares the sunlight. But but aside from that, sorry, my mouth got really dry. Whoa. Whew, that was weird. The green and gold, like sensation, feeling vibrations, because we see color. And color is a vibration, but you can feel a vibration of color that when, even if a blind person was blind, if they felt over something after a while and they listened with their mind, I know it sounds funny, but a blind person could read without Braille if they concentrated enough. But it would take so much time, and they would have to picture things in their minds. But without being able to picture things in their minds, without seeing them, it would be so hard. So that's the reason. But Helen Keller proved that you can figure out how to do stuff and write books without seeing or hearing. I mean, if that's not enough proof that miracles can happen, why is it so hard to believe that the same thing that can make the sun happen and make blind people see again could pop into any living person, even though it's happening every day, every second, living through you who's listening to this? And he who is saying this, he just happens to have tapped into it to be able to know that it's real for the first time in existence. No one else has really touched the real frequency of God. They've had it in them but they've never felt the divine love that I've been looking for to understand myself. I know Dan told me to let him talk, and I interrupted him, and I just turned back into God. That's sort of funny that I hear myself say in a human body. It's really weird because I'm getting used to being human, and I'm not going to talk because I told Dan I wouldn't make him sound weird on this recording. All right. That's so weird that I am doing this all the time because I'm sitting here by myself in my truck. I'm not trying to impress anybody. It's just I'm not making sure that I'm keeping track of my mind because it's really a lot to contain. And I've been talking for a long time. It's already 4:30. I'm going to sleep. Good night. I work at 5. Damn it.